Global mobility to the business is ensuring that our employees and our business, our company, is meeting all of the compliance requirements without putting in jeopardy the safety, risk of the employee and the company.
The United States is a huge country. I think there's we have a lot of companies. I think opportunity. There's definitely more opportunities here, I would say, for people when they come here. That there's definitely that attraction that the U.S. has from the different types of opportunities that they can explore.
So in global mobility, one of the biggest challenges is really managing the day-to-day operations while also having time to focus on building the longer-term strategy. And it can be really easy to get caught up in firefighting and not be able to be more mindful and planful. So I try to carve out time and be intentional about thinking about both. And I think that is kind of the operational nature of a lot of the work that we do, but also the striving to be more strategic and more part of the overall talent agenda. And then maybe more on a specific level, obviously, a lot of time is spent around managing the policy and exceptions. And I think that there's a lot of opportunity in how you develop your policy and working with different business functions to really make sure that you've created it in such a way that it meets their business needs, but also that you've partnered with your suppliers so that they've got a really streamlined way in supporting that, because that will help minimize a lot of the administration, a lot of the time that you spend on that piece of it, and open up time for you to spend on other parts of the program. Again, trying to move the strategy forward and really being an advocate and consultant for your business functions.
I think for a global mobility deployment in India, India being a best cost country, the cost of assignment is not that significant when we are deploying employees to a country like India, and there are other benefits as well in terms of the employee himself or herself. They get to learn a lot when they are deployed in a developing country like India. They get to see the different cultures, they get to see the different customs here, and there is a different way of working in India as compared to a lot of Western countries or European countries. So that gives them a flavor of how things work in a developing country, and obviously there are certain do's and don'ts when you go on an assignment to a particular country. So those do's and don'ts also serve as a learning experience.
Organisations that are thinking about bringing their employees to Australia, I would absolutely recommend it. Obviously, I live here. I have lived and worked in a lot of other countries as well, but I am biased in the fact that I've come back to Australia. I've raised a family here in Australia, and that's certainly for those particular employees that have families. There is a really strong government support around schooling, health, and quality of living. And so if those aspects are important to your employee base and they're looking for a stable environment with a lot of sunshine, then it's definitely the place to send them.
Okay, so that my tips would be that here, when authorities maybe do not apply the legislation and so on. So there is a lot of uncertainty regarding the processes, and the information on the website maybe it's not as good, as accurate, or as realistic as the process is. So it's super important for the assignees to be able to explain how things in real are. So again, my learnings are communication, and communication, explaining every single step on the way and guiding the assignee through every single step on the way makes the process successful. So my tip is that it's communication and driving people under uncertainty, because yes, the authorities and the legislation and the administrative processes are difficult.
I think historically the Canadian government has been very open to immigration coming into Canada. And it dates back to Pierre Elliott Trudeau having an open immigration policy back in the 70s. So I know for myself personally, my parents came into this country because of Pierre Elliott Trudeau, and saw the potential in terms of them improving their lives back then. So I think it's just historically been something that is part of the Canadian heritage, is just being open to other cultures coming into Canada.
Germany is a safe environment to invest if you're a corporation, definitely, and it's friendly if you want to make a startup here. So basically, from all the legal requirements to actually the speediness of setting up a business, this is something that you can actually entertain and make use of to start your business here in Germany.
One top tip when you're moving assignees would be definitely know their personal circumstance. Get to know them, get to know their needs and their wants, get to know their family circumstances, because the worst thing that you can do is make assumptions, have everything in place for their move, and then find out actually you hadn't thought about how you're going to get their Rottweiler, for instance, into the location because you just hadn't discussed with them.
The thing with Mexico is the location. It has the beaches in two different oceans and the closeness to the US. Also, it is a main point sometimes to establish a Latin America center, but also this has comes and goes during the times, depending on the government helps that they're able.